Hey y'all, here I am with another little dolly review, and as you can see here, I've got the Descendants 10th Anniversary Isle of the Lost Mal doll by Mattel. I'm honestly so incredibly happy to have this doll, you have no idea. I didn't get Descendants dolls, and I wasn't allowed to collect dolls during the original run of the Hasbro dolls, but like, to be quite honest, those dolls were like kind of fugly looking. Like, they have like a soft spot in my heart because they were around when like, you know, the doll collecting kind of like renaissance was like not a thing yet, and like they were one of the only other like dolls on store shelves at the time, you know, pre like, you know, Monster High G2 reboot and stuff like that. And I remember when this movie came out, it was like the summer before like I was going into 7th grade and stuff like that, and like I was trying to like be all grown up and all mature or whatever and not watch Disney Channel original movies anymore. And then of course I see this little edgy girl with purple hair and like a leather jacket, and I want to know all about her. But as you can see here, we've just got the little Disney Descendants logo, as well as a window into the full doll and stuff like that. We've also got this little like engraving in the plastic, in the cellophane rather, and it just matches these little like, I guess like wire vines or something. It's supposed to look like a mirror or whatever in the background. And then we've just got Dove Cameron's gorgeous face over here. I literally remember seeing promos for this, and I remember seeing that Dove was in it, and I was already a huge fan of Liv and Maddie anyways, because, I mean, who wasn't back then? And it was just very cool to see her go from playing, like, you know, the regular, like, I guess down-to-earth, like, I guess basic white girl to, like, being this, like, edgy girl with, like, a more complex backstory who, like, came from the wrong side of the tracks and whatnot. I definitely enjoyed the movie for sure. Even when I was, like, trying really hard not to back in the day. This movie definitely has some bangers too. And the soundtrack, I mean. And as we move on to the back, we've just got this gorgeous picture of Dove Cameron holding the little spell book right over here, as well as the Disney Descendants logo. And we just got this little text at the top corner, as well as on the bottom. Over here, just giving a little blurb of the little, I guess, 10-year anniversary and stuff like that. And I honestly can't believe it's been 10 years since that movie premiered. Like, it's crazy to me too, because it's like, Mattel originally like passed on the idea of making Descendants just so that they could make Ever After High, and they would eventually end up making Descendants dolls anyways, you know what I mean? Because now we've got the Descendants Rise of Red dolls and all of that, but, you know, it's just really funny to me that they originally passed on the idea. Because, like, Descendants was already, like, you know, very much so a knockoff of Ever After High in general, and, like, we all know that, we all knew that, you know what I mean? That's, like, not a shocker or whatever. But, like, yeah, I do definitely think that this doll is really cool, and, like, finally we're getting a nice, like, movie-accurate doll after all of these years, because, like I said before, the Hasbro dolls, I have, like, a nice, sweet, like, soft spot for them, but those dolls were fucking terrible. They were absolutely fugly, and the hair quality was just, like, incredibly, like, terrible, too. You know what I mean? That was definitely the worst part of the dolls, in my opinion, because even going online on eBay or Mercari or, like, anywhere, you'll see Descendants dolls, and, like, their faces will be perfect, their skin won't be stained at all, but that hair will be the most crappiest thing you've ever had to work with. And I'm somebody who doesn't know how to flat iron dolls yet, like, very well, in my opinion, so, like, I stay away from those dolls. But at least they remade Mal and Evie, because those are honestly the two most, like, important characters that, like, I wanted dolls of anyways, or, like, re-releases of, in my opinion, because, like I already said, love those Hasbro dolls, but they weren't the most movie accurate, and they definitely were not, like, human proportioned, like, at all. And they definitely, like, stuck out like a sore thumb, like, compared to, like, the other regular, like, human-looking Barbie dolls and, like, other Disney Channel original movie dolls and stuff like that. I feel like they were definitely trying really hard to be Ever After High and, like, Monster High coded in one, and the dolls just ended up falling really flat. They didn't even look as cute as, like, the 3D animated models for, like, Wicked World. I feel like they could have definitely based the dolls off of that, but, like, no, they still decided to go with that really ugly, like, bug-eyed look. But, you know, at least we finally got these reproductions. But yeah, we just see her little spell book right over here, and there honestly isn't much to her box. Now in the next clip, we are going to be getting her out of the box. Here we finally have Miss Mal out of the box, and first impressions are honestly really great. I will say that she's got some, you know, terribly, like, gelled box hair, just because they do want the style to be, like, I guess very like slick down and like very short as well and not stick up. So her hair is covered in glue, or not glue but hair gel. But as you can see with like the printed on details on this jacket, like they're not bad at all. And in my opinion, it just looks very movie accurate, very screen accurate. Here we just got the extra details like on her leggings and stuff like that. Nothing too remarkable in terms of like clothing quality, because this is honestly how the Hasbro Descendants dolls are like as well in terms of like clothing. And then moving on to her shoes, we've just got this little dragon wing shoes with like scales all over it, and they're a nice chunky platform. They've got like lace-up details at the top, and I really do like the shoe mold. I think that the wardrobe for the Descendants movies was really fun in my opinion, and just like very edgy and alternative. And when I was younger, I definitely did want to go ahead and dress like this, even if it is cringy now, but like, you know, whatever. I thought that this was like peak like fashion, and like, you know what I mean? I thought that for Disney characters that they were styled just like so alternatively and stuff like that. We've even got her little gloves. They are indeed plastic gloves with like barely like any molded on like details really. I do wish that her nails were painted like they were in the movie. I remember in the movie them being like either a dark purple or like a nice regular purple color. I will say that this doll on the left looks leagues better and way more like Dove Cameron in my opinion than the Hasbro Descendants 2 like Mal, because like this face over here is trying so hard to like be, you know, stylized and be like different, I guess, but like at the end of the day it was still dolls for like a live action movie franchise, and like that whole thing is like just like very distracting, you know what I mean? Like I get that they were trying to like make these really stylized and make these stand out and like look different from all the other dolls on the shelf, but like in doing so they didn't really execute it that well in my opinion. But like as you can see, the quality is like still essentially the same clothing wise for like both of these dolls. And like the hair quality is obviously leagues different. This is polypropylene hair. It's not bad condition because I was already a teenager when I got this doll. I knew how to take care of dolls, but like still, it's not very good hair quality. It's very cheap, and all of the other like Descendants 2 dolls, or just like Descendants dolls in general, secondhand, look really fried and like just really crunchy, you know what I mean, in terms of hair. And this Mal over here, while looking a lot more like Dove Cameron, I know that people like definitely still have their concerns and like their critiques, I mean, with this face. I saw some collectors leaving her head in like acetone like over or whatever for like 48 hours and like shrinking it. And like I honestly get that if you want to have them be like even more humanly proportioned, but like this is honestly the best Dove Cameron face in doll form that we are gonna get in my opinion. So I honestly ain't mad at what we got right over here, and I can't wait to get Evie because you can't have Mal without Evie in my opinion. Here we just have her little book. I will say that it is really huge compared to the way that it looks in like the movie, because like in the movie Mal can just kind of like, she just holds it like in like the palm of her hand, and like it's not really that like this like giant thing or whatever. But here it is. It's a nice gold painted color or whatever. And yeah, she's just got these really nice green eyes, and she's got this purple eyeshadow and like orangey brownish eyeshadow around the outer parts of her eyes, as well as this black winged eyeliner. And she's just got these really delicate looking lashes, and her bottom lashes look to be like brown colored, and she's just got these very thin arched eyebrows, as well as regular pink blushing around her cheeks and like pink lipstick. I will say that this looks enough like Dove Cameron, but I don't think that they like got her lips very correct in my opinion. I feel like her lips are a lot more fuller, and like even in the next movie her lips would end up getting even more fuller injections. But like in general, I'm just like, this Hasbro doll did not look any types like Dove Cameron, and that's obviously like not what they were going for, but like still I feel like they tried way too hard to make the faces look different, and that just ended up making them look a little bit more uncanny in my opinion. But at least Mattel corrected Hasbro's failings, because this doll exists now, thankfully. And now I can rewatch Descendants with a fully movie accurate doll mostly. I've definitely seen like other customizers and collectors like do like human proportion Mal dolls over the years, like way better than this. They've done like way better materials and like patterning and stitching and stuff like that for like the pants and stuff like that, but I'm happy that Mattel was able to at least give us this for the 10-year anniversary, because, you know, there are not many other Disney Channel original movies that like get acknowledged like this for like their anniversary, so at least there's that. I will definitely say that there are different details on her outfit that the Hasbro Descendants doll highlighted more. Like her collar, for example, was like a whole separate plastic piece on the Hasbro doll. And I do know that you could rip off these hands before, and they were like molded on gloves, I think. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with this like Descendants anniversary doll, and like I said, I can't wait to get the Eevee. It just sucks that they didn't make like the core 4, you know what I mean? I would have loved to have seen a doll for Jay and a doll for especially Carlos's character, because, you know, as we all know, Cameron Boyce has not been with us for like a long time now, and it's honestly just like really sad, and I feel like it would be really nice for a doll company at least to make a doll in his likeness and pay tribute to him, you know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this little video and if you guys are going to be going out and getting the new Descendants anniversary dolls, because I quite enjoy them and I can't wait to get Eevee. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.